Sup, guys. Mikey here for the Vanguard Council with a weekly tips and tricks and guides video to how to get better at this game. And this is the first one, so yay! um, but for this weekly segment, it's gonna be every Friday. Short like 10, maybe 15 minutes. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I'm not gonna try to drag it out, but it's just a generic topic every week about how to get better at the game of Vanguard, or how to improve your skills, or how to improve your deck building, how to get better at the game, just general notions, and stuff that some people don't know, some people do know, but it's always good to know. So today's topic, the very first topic of this weekly video, is net decking and why you shouldn't do it, why you should do it, and the general basis of net decking. For those of you who don't know what net decking is, it's when you see a top build, or you see someone post a deck profile online, or you see on the Vanguard, on the BCS page, the people who's topped, and you want to try out their deck. You want mimic their build, test it out for yourself, and see why it won, see if it's good, see the reason it won, basically. And play it because it's the best version of the deck that won BCS, or even Worlds for that matter. Pale Moon winning Worlds, people tried to copy that deck, and to their surprise, it's really good. Like, I haven't seen it yet, but people have told me that it's really good. Now, I can't talk for experience because I haven't seen it. I did my own build of Pale Moon, so I don't like to personally net deck, but sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't. Now, that's just the general basis of it. Why you shouldn't net deck is a very interesting topic. So, first of all, probably one of the main reasons you don't want to net deck is because it will never, or most of the time, it won't suit your playstyle. It won't. I'm trying to make it into words, but it just won't fit with you. Sometimes you try the build, but you don't like the build, or you don't like aspects of the build that's just not characteristic of you. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons you shouldn't net deck. Because you try out, you see this build, it consistently tops, it consistently wins, but it's winning for that person. It's not winning for you. It just suits the playstyle of that person. There's varieties of builds for Shadows, variety of builds for Tachis, variety of builds for even Bermuda. I'll get into Bermuda. That's a special topic for this segment. But every deck has its own way to build. Like Royal Paladin, for example, there's so many different things. It's Gansalot, there's Alfred, there's Soul Saver Turbo, there's I think that's it. Kagero too. Kagero has so many. There's Blade Master, different variations of Dragonic Overlord, the Waterfall Engine, OTT as well. I'm trying to remember all the clients here. Even Murakumo, but everyone wants to play the new one. Unfortunately, the ban list killed it. Even Gold, Agravain, or Ezel. Even different variations of Ezel. You want to figure out what Ezels you want to play, but not every build is going to work for you. It's always better to. The better idea of net decking, or the better way to net deck, is to start out with that version of the build and change it so it's representative of you. The way you play the game, how you want to play it, how you want to change things. You can. It's okay to start with a good build. One of the builds that won. That's absolutely fine. The problem is sticking with that deck and expecting it to work out for you. That's the issue. But always the best thing to do definitely is to change it so it suits your playstyle. Because if you don't, you're just not playing the game to your content, to your heart's content. I don't believe people who net deck forcefully is going to have fun with the game. And you can quote me on that if you want, but that's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be your opinion. But sometimes there are times where you can't really where you can't really not net deck. There are times where you have to mimic the build, like like Bermuda. Like, it is a special case because a year ago when the set first came out, or 2 years ago, I really can't remember. It was either there was only two different variants of the build you can play. It's either you're playing the Rush build, which played Serena. I believe the Rush build played Serena. And then there was the conservative build, which played Fina over Serena. You play 3 Fina, 2 Serena, or you just play 4 Fina, no Serena. And at that time, because it was fishing season for like a whole half a year or a whole year, something like that, there wasn't much to change for Bermuda. It was like very, very, very generic and standard build to play. And there wasn't really much you can change. You can't change the triggers, you can't change the grade 1s, 2s, 3s. You can't change the grade 1s and 2s. You can change the 3s, but only to switch out one card. And you can't really call that, being unique, being diverse, because, it's still the same build at the end of the day. Another prime example would be Royals too. Every clan at some point had a specific build. Royals at the time, Royals were irrelevant, but they always had the Gansalot. When Gansalot came out, there were so many different ways to play Gansalot, and so many different ways to play Alfred. But at the end of the day, you have to play certain cards. I'm not saying that's net decking. It was just a really bad example. But Bermuda is a really, really good example of you can't really not net deck. You can't make it your own. You can't change the build. Every other deck now in this format that we're in, yes, you can adjust the build to however you want. And that's probably one of the great things now that we have for standard or even premium format too, diversity. If we're talking about premium, I was strictly talking about standard, but if we're talking about premium, one of the decks you can't really net deck in premium is Neonectar. Or I mixed up my words there. One of the decks you can't really change that much is Neonectar because it runs very specific cards, and you can't really change the trigger lineup, but it runs cards so that you always have tokens. And the build is pretty simplistic. The only real, really super diverse decks in premium would be Shadows, Golds. Now that Golds are dead. Well, not dead, but Golds have been limited a lot to how much they can do. Before the ban list, you could change Golds to how you want. You could change Shadows to how you want, because those decks relied on, Shadows relied on Morfessa, and as long as you were able to reach the Ritual 10 requirement, and you could play the deck however you wanted, the Dagda Morfessa combo. Kagero too, there's so many things you do with Kagero in premium, and the fact that it can stay relevant in the meta is one of the reasons it's good to be diverse. But yeah, net decking is and is not a problem. It's like I said, it's only a problem if you stick with the deck and you're not playing it how you want. You're playing it how people see as the best version of the deck, and that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. So that's it for my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you can agree with me, you can disagree with me. This is just all my opinion and how I feel about net decking, and how how net decking can impact your play. It can always be an impactful way on how you play the game, because it's not just it's how you play it versus how someone who made the build plays it. So there's always going to be discrepancies. Make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Hit a like on this if you enjoyed the content. Join our Discord chat if you want to talk more Vanguard. And that's about it. I'll see you guys later. Peace.